Howdy. Today is, it's cold. It's leg day today, y'all. And what that's going to consist of, all right, let me tell you. It's going to be a little bit of already yelling, I think, right? But at the same time, I do 2 leg days a week, right? So I'm thinking I might just do squats today, Might just do some, heel elevated squats or something like that. And then go from there, which I think that's probably actually the plan. And then I'll do RDLs Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. So, I just do that today with some leg extensions, hamstring curls, calf raises. Just like the usual, nothing crazy, nothing, extremely different about today. I'm not bringing out like a unicorn machine or anything. It's just going to be a regular old kind of hitting it heavy and hard, man. I mean, it's super simple stuff at the end of the day. It's not rocket science, you don't need to have a PhD like Mike Israetel, who really even doesn't have a PhD, I don't think. I think he got disproven to have a PhD. So that's crazy. I think because I saw like a little thing on YouTube, and it was talking about Mike Israetel's a liar, and everything. So, but I have seen some of his training, and I don't disagree with the training, right? I think there's a certain time and place where time under tension is definitely important and everything. But he makes you do 40, 50 pounds less than what your actual sets are usually, because he likes to make these super crazy, 12-second reps. And it's sure, that's all great and everything, but it's I think after I've heard at the 2 to 10 second mark, there's not really much of a difference between the rep. After 2 seconds of a negative, this really doesn't change from you just going, there's not much of a difference. So, it kind of really just depends on what you want to train and how you want to train. If you feel as if you get the most results from doing 10 second on the way down, go for it, right? Me personally, I think anybody would get benefit out of that, but I think anybody's going to get a better benefit from still doing good control reps, but still doing heavy weight, right? Let's say, a realistic example for me would be doing 50-pound hammer curls, right? I can do them for 2 second negative, sure. Let's say I want to bump down the weight to 40s, 5 second negatives on the way down. I might get something out of that, but I feel like I'm getting more out of swinging sometimes the weight a little bit compared to just really, and just kind of not really, doing much. I don't know. I think there's a time and a place for it all. Certain movements that you're more likely to get injured on, which you're likely to get injured on any movement in the gym. That is 100% true. Maybe it's not even you don't even have to be doing a movement in the gym. There was one time I did a heavy leg press, and I was only injured for part of the day, but I had to stop my workout right there because it was so stupid. I was doing max out on the leg press, so it was over 1,000 something pounds. I think I did it for 5 reps or something, whatever, I don't know. But the only messed up part about it is, so I was doing that and whatnot, but afterwards, after my set, I had this guy help me unrack the weights. He was a really cool guy. I forget what his name was, because I was just on vacation. I was just working out. I talked to him, and he was a really genuine guy. But he helped me unrack the weights because he wanted to help me, I guess. But when I was unracking one of the 45s off, I don't know if it was just because I did that really heavy set and then kind of didn't take a whole lot of time to really relax for a second. I just kind of got up and unracked the weight. I unracked the weight. The first one I unracked, I got an instant pain shock up my back, dude, and down to my tailbone-ish area. And I don't know if you guys ever had that pain. It sucks. You can't sit properly, which is one of the worst parts about it, because that's you want to sit down because standing low-key hurts. and then you can't like crack your back at all. You can't like turn, you know, you're like, you can't maneuver like this, or that hurts. It's just not fun to deal with. So injuries are prevalent in the gym anywhere, and what I gotta say is, don't be stupid. You know, obviously be smart with your training, you know, but also don't think you're invincible either. Like I said, I got injured off of lifting up a 45-pound plate, and I really got messed up from that for that day, right? So, but also warm up too. I warm up, but I don't warm up maybe how I 100% should for how intense I usually train. So certain exercises, like something with my legs or something, I should warm up more probably. But it's like today, I mean, I got 2 hours and 23 minutes till my work starts. Right, we're gonna work at 3:45, and you know, I want to get back, eat some beef, and have time to just kind of relax. So I said, 2 hours and 20. So I got like 45 minutes here to an hour, right? And that's the thing. I don't want to spend, 45 minutes just warming up. You know, I think if you have the time, you should warm up as much as you can. And that's what I do with my time. I warm up for like 5 minutes. And that's really all the time I got, you know? And then I also do warm-up sets for my workouts too. I don't just go from like when I did that 3-plate heel elevated squat, I didn't go from 135 straight to that, or just the Smith machine bar to that. No, I went from 135, 225, 275, and then 315, and I tried it. You know? So, it just really depends on what you want to do. So, train smart, y'all. But with that, I'll see you guys in the gym. Alright, first we have 2 sets of Smith machine heel elevated squats. Mainly to prioritize the quads. A lot of people might think this is for glutes or something like that, but it's mainly for quads. You'll get a little glute, lower back, little calf, hamstring activation, but mainly the quads. So we're going to just be going pretty controlled on the way down, exploding the way up. And yeah, we're going to be training around the 6 rep range. Like I said, I did 2 sets. Train as heavy as you can while also keeping your form tight, and make sure you keep your feet close to get more quad activation. Now we're just going to be killing our quads one more time for an exercise. 2 more sets of this. Pretty much same purpose, just to hit the quads. We're just going to explode on the way up, control the way down, keep the seat all the way back, and try to stay back in the seat to get more of the erector, which is like that third big, kind of in the middle muscle group on your quads. And yeah, if you have one of those pads right there too, it helps with a deeper stretch. I trained around the 8 to 7 rep range for this, and I did 2 sets. Now we're just using standing hamstring curls. Just a really good exercise for the hamstrings. Pretty much all you're doing for this exercise is just you're going to explode on the way up, and then hold that weight at the top. Mainly just get a really good squeeze at the top and go slow on the way down for a really good stretch. And we're going to be training around the 6 to 10 rep range, and I did 3 sets of this today. Now we're training calves. Don't mind this first set. I had to do a drop set because my calves literally, I'm not gonna lie, cramped up as soon as I did that 4th rep. Super bad. I mean, you'll be able to see it. But if your calves cramp up, either don't hit them that day, or eat a banana, or go a little bit lower in the weight. And I went a little lower in the weight. You just see it right there. Just cramp super bad. But just train pretty light with these. and yeah, just get a really good control. I'd recommend standing, but I don't have a standing calf raise. I don't know if you guys do, so seated is a good alternate option. But I did 3 sets going from 10 to 15 reps. All right, so time to go. Whew, time to go 100% according to plan. So we have about an hour and 5 minutes till we got to go to work. So I didn't go too much longer. I went like 17 minutes longer than I wanted to. So it was like, what is that, an hour and 2 minutes or something I was in the gym, which I'm not going to fully complain about because at the end, 5 sets of abs. Let me think what else I did that you guys didn't see. Other than like a few sets of just another exercise, like the same exercise that you guys already seen. You guys seen everything except for the abs, so. Yeah, all for abs today it was. And let me know if you guys want to see abs or not because I'm out of breath, man. I ran out to my car here. It's cold. But let me know if you guys want to see abs because I mean, I just think that nobody really wants to watch abs because it's not like heavy weight or anything. Because I don't go heavy on abs. I mean, depending on the machine, I might go a little heavier. But abs, for one, I'm not the strongest on. And 2, I just get the best connection if I go a little lighter and just kind of pump them out pretty fast. Like some shrugs or something. But shrugs I go heavy on. But like abs, I go boom, 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 you know, just a really fast paced kind of thing, which I think is more fun too than kind of going slow on abs. But on the way up on abs, so I might do just a video or something on it. I'll go like boom and then kind of slow sometimes, and then I'll get that really deep stretch because for the longest time, and I still sometimes do this, I don't get a deep stretch on abs at all. So when I do abs, it's like boom, boom, it's not boom, all the way back, boom, you know, it's kind of fast-paced, short range of motion, which I think I get, you know, the best from it. But you know, stretch is always really good too, so I can incorporate that a little bit more, as if anybody can. But overall, today workout, can't complain. Got 2 sets of the Smith machine squats for 315 or 3 plates or whatever it is. So that's like it's like 3 something. I think it's like 300 maybe flat. But you know, for 6, I will take that. I'm not gonna complain about that. You know, I'm not going to complain about, you know, getting, you know, another set of the same weight I did last time. Like I did, whatchamacallit, 295 last time, and then I did 315. I got 295 for 7 last time, and I got 315 for 6. Same thing today. I got 315 for 6, and I got 315 for 6. That's an improvement, I'd say, you know. You might say, well, you did the same reps, same amount of, you know, you did the same amount of reps, same amount of weight. Well, I did 2 sets of that, right? If I did 295 for 7 and 315 for 6, and got the same kind of failure results, then, you know, but I also didn't fail today on the 315 for 6. You could have said, oh, so you didn't try your hardest. No, I did try my fucking hardest, all right? I did 315 on that last rep. I could have done another half rep. You know what I mean by half rep? I don't mean like go slightly on the way down and then go right back up. No, it was, I would have gone down and immediately stayed down and not gone back up, you know? So that's the thing. When I mean by failure too, I don't mean always technical failure. I mean by that too. If you're doing something compoundish, I know Smith machine isn't like a compound, but like a squat is. If you're doing something compoundish or something that you're using more than one muscle group on, or, you know, there's more risk of like a leg press. Like, there's like an actual risk of you like dying and you don't have a spotter to like, you know, kind of give you that extra rep up. If you know, like really know in the back of your head, if you try one more rep, you're not getting it, I'd say you're fine, man. I think you should always just kind of go, you know, on certain occasions, like I said. If like that Smith machine, if you 100% know that you're not going to get another rep, you know, but bicep curls, take every set to failure, man. 2 sets to failure. you're good. You don't need to do 2 sets. You're like, I can't do 1 more rep, so I'm gonna stop here. No, you might be able to get that, and if you don't, it's not like you're gonna, unless you're doing something crazy, you're not gonna break your shoulder, or you're not gonna break your back, unless you're really lifting it. But that's just to say, like, there's no get back in going to failure on those things. There's no get back on, going to, whatever. There's no get back on that. You should always do that. I know a lot of people, a lot of newer guys like to start slow. I hear that from so many people. I just want to start slow. Okay, give yourself a week to start slow, learn the form again, or learn the form, and then start going to failure, at least on 1 set. I'm not here to judge anybody, right? I'm not here to judge anybody. You do whatever you want to do. It's your free will, it's your life. I'm not gonna make you a slave to the gym or anything. I'm not gonna force you to do anything you truly don't want to do. But I will say, the things when you do things that are hard, and when stuff is hard, it's gonna make your life a lot easier in the future because it's hard right now. The counteraction of that is you do stuff that's easy right now, it's gonna make your life hard 10 times harder in the future. So let's say you skip 3 weeks in the gym. Okay, you may be happy because you have a little bit more time to play video games, or whatever, not something along those lines. You may have more time to eat pizza, sit on your ass. Okay. You do another 3 weeks, and then you do another year, and then you do 2 years, and then 3 years, and then 4 years. You've been out of the gym for like 6 years, 7 years, right? You're like, man, I should really start it up again. Well, you've been out of the game for so long that you're probably not going to really want to start doing it again. I mean, there's other circumstances where people are, like, fully done with their crap, and they actually put themselves in the position where they do get better, and they try those things. And there's people that actually do it. But in most circumstances, when a lot of people stop doing things that really help them in life for years on end, a long period of time, they probably aren't going to do it again. Just because it's hard. And you're so comfortable with being on easy mode until life hits you. And a lot of times, it's a lot of people are already on hard mode, mentally, whatever not. And so they don't want to incorporate those hard things, because it's like, man, I've had a rough day. I've had a rough week. I've had a rough year. Why would I want to make it any more rough by going to the gym and potentially either injure myself or just, going through physical pain and being sore the next day? Well, I'd say you're going to feel a lot better about yourself in every aspect, physically, mentally, spiritually, if you're at least positively doing something that boosts your life. And that doesn't even have to be the gym. That could be you start your own business, or you clean your room a little more sometimes, right? Because I know there's a lot of people, they live in a depressive environment, right? Their room is... Dude, why is this guy going so slow? Jeez. But their room is all cluttered, and they can't think properly because the room, for one, is a mess. It's just like your mind. I think a lot of your environment is what you're going to be thinking about, right? I mean, why do you think bad people are usually in bad neighborhoods? And I'm not saying bad people are just bad people. They just have bad actions. There's not really bad people, right? I mean, there is, but those people are usually evil. But the same circumstance comes with your just day-to-day life. If your lifestyle is eating like shit, being in a nasty room, doing habits that don't equivalent to good things, you're more likely going to be a very depressed person. And that's just nature. That's not just humans. That's literally animals and all that stuff, But a lot of them are in survival mode, which is just, okay, I have to get here, 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 or else I'm gonna die. Well, you don't know, right? Nobody knows when they're gonna die, but a lot of us, safe to assume, we're not gonna die 100% sure tomorrow. Well, we might, right? But then you're like, I have another day. What if you don't? What if you don't have it tomorrow? What if today you died and you are left with everything that you've done so far? Would you be happy with that progress, without success or whatever? it's safe to assume 99% of people are not happy for how far they've come in their life. And even if they made it to the tippy top of whatever they wanted to achieve in, right? Like a Chris Bumstead for me, he's an Olympian guy. He has 6 Mr. Olympias, but if he died today, well, his job isn't over. He would really hate that probably. For one, because, even though he completed his Mr. Olympia reign, 6 Mr. Olympias, which is crazy, he still has a family now, right? His job, his life isn't over yet. Same with yours. Even though maybe you've completed a lot of things in your life, you probably still want a little more of something else. Or even if you haven't completed much in your life, you have so much more potential. I'd say everyone has potential to do anything nowadays, even if it's not even creating something or, whatever not it is. I think that everyone has infinite amounts of potential and infinite amounts of energy to get to this world, whether that be good or bad. I'm not going to be the deciding factor for you. I think and I'd hope that you choose the right option and be a good person, but, But I'm going to leave that episode here. I got to be at work really soon, and it sucks because that's the thing about work. I don't want to work at my job anymore, man. I really don't. I don't hate it, but the rush of having to do this and then go right to a physical job and be not mentally super drained, but physically drained, it's like, man, I don't even have time to sit down and eat. I have to eat and drive, dude. That's not a lifestyle I want to live anymore, man. I'm gonna be honest. I don't mean to, rant to, you guys. And you guys don't hear about my problems, but I want to make this a full-time thing. I don't want to even call this a job. I want to start physical training too. I'd rather make that my job, because if I was just teaching people how to work out, that's not a job. That's just me living my lifestyle. In me living my lifestyle, I'd never consider work. I don't call the gym I have to go to the gym. I say I'm going to the gym, or I get to go to the gym. If I have stuff going on, I was going to say, sometimes I had to go to the gym. I usually just say I went to the gym. I'm not going to say I had to go to the gym, because for one, that's already a negative mindset. And like I said before, if you have a negative mindset going into things, or just a overall negative mindset, you're more likely not going to be a happy person. But that's it for me for Unk Knowledge today. Not really Unk Knowledge, but whatever. I hope you guys have a very blessed, beautiful day, and I hope whoever's out there watching this video, I hope you, if you make it to the end of the video, I hope you've learned something about yourself. I hope you guys just have a great day. I really mean that. Goodbye.